I'm super excited to have you here, Tia, with us today because I think you have a wonderful story to share. And I know you worked incredibly hard to get through this career transition, and it's really paid off for you. So with that, I'd like to turn the floor over to you and have you share a little bit more about your story with the group and answer any questions that they have.
Okay, thank you, Yuji. So like Yuji said, my name is Tia. I was in cohort 4, and now I am a K-12 solutions engineer at Community Brands. And Community Brands is kind of a big company that has 4 different divisions that sell software to different kinds of social organizations. So we have the events division, which sells to like Comic-Con and things like that with like events management software. Nonprofits, they sell like fundraising and accounting software to nonprofits, obviously, like United Way. Our associations have like event or membership management solutions that they sell to like the National Association of Social Workers so that they can track things like continuing education units. And then my division as a K-12 solutions engineer is education. And so we sell things to local K-12 schools that are like admissions, enrollment, financial aid, and then like student information systems and student management. So I get to help schools of all different sizes and philosophies solve problems around these things. Like I talk to schools that are writing report cards in Google Slides, and then those report cards like don't have any home where they live. So now I can show them like we can keep your report cards and attach them to a student record so you can track their progress over time. So it's really fun and really cool to like get to actually solve problems and impact how people are operating and help schools change students' lives. On a day-to-day basis, what this means is that I demo the products, so I show how they work. I spend a lot of time maintaining the demo environments, so I get to, make sure I'm going in and taking attendance regularly in the student information systems or adding data, moving data, things like that. I meet with the AEs and the customer account managers to talk about how are we going to demo this product, like what is the main pain points for the school and where should I really focus my value so I can tailor my demos. I follow up on questions. I don't know everything when I'm demoing. Customers ask lots of questions, and so sometimes I have to like go do some research, talk to product, and see if I can find out the answer and get back to them. And then I learn product updates. Like the really cool thing I think about pre-sales is that you get to learn all the time because the products are always updating. And so like you're always learning. There's always something new to learn and do. And then I also get to talk with product and marketing teams. I get to say, hey, customers are asking for this. And so I get to advocate for them. So there's a whole bunch of things that I do, and it kind of varies day to day, which is also one of the really cool things I think about pre-sales. So like Yuji and Nina said, a year ago, I was a preschool teacher. And I want to say that like just by being here tonight, you guys are farther ahead of me than I was a year ago. When I started thinking about leaving education, I had no idea what I wanted to do. It wasn't until like March or April that pre-sales was on my radar at all. So you guys are ahead of me. And I had no idea of like jobs. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, what are other teachers doing? Where are they ending up? And I had kind of heard of like instructional design, customer success, things like that. And I had no technical background, no idea. I had to like Google things like B2B and SaaS, like when I was looking at job postings, I was just like clueless. But in talking to other people who were former educators, we were kind of talking about what are some roles in tech and what are your favorite parts of teaching. And what I kept coming back to was that I really love getting to problem solve. As a preschool teacher and a Head Start teacher, I worked with a lot of families who had trauma, children who had developmental disabilities, delays, things like that. And so one of the things that I had to do over and over again was to put together these plans to help solve the problems and work with people with really in-depth technical expertise and put together, okay, this is what I know about speech and language pathology, like this is what they're recommending, so this is what we're going to do. And they were like, you should look into pre-sales. You should check out PreSales Academy. And so I did. I read about it. I found PreSales Academy. I met with UG, and everything really seemed to click. And so I applied, and it was absolutely one of the best decisions that I've ever made. Um, PreSales Academy, I did it over the summer. I still worked full time over the summer. I was working as a nanny, and between like work and PreSales Academy, and then I'm also a full time caregiver. It's definitely a lot, but I found it really um, like the class schedule was in the evenings, and then the other work you could do kind of at your own pace, and so it was easy to find a way to make it work into my life. So even though it was a lot to balance, I had so much support from Maddie and Yuji, Anina and Winnie, and my mentor and coach, who are like some of my favorite people. I love both of them so much. So it's a lot of work, but it's doable. It just takes time management and prioritization. And while you're doing it, you definitely have the support to balance the things that are going on in your life. So like I said, I came in knowing absolutely nothing about technology. And I had a lot of questions as I went along, but I had people that I could ask those questions to. I had my mentor, my coach. If I didn't understand something, I could ask somebody. And so that help and that support is really what makes PreSales Academy special, in my opinion. Like I, to this day, have a really good relationship with my mentor. We met last week and talked for an hour about like how things are going at my job. What should I expect from a sales kickoff? What's the next fantasy novel I should add to my reading list? Like we have a really great relationship, and that's something that I really, really value. Coming out of PreSales Academy really gave me a really strong foundation and starting point to hit the ground running in my job. When I started at PreSales Academy, like I said, knew nothing. And then when I started at my position, our sales enablement trainer said that I had one of the best value presentations that she's ever seen come out of our sales enablement training during my onboarding. And so now I'm actually in the position of getting to refer other PreSales Academy graduates to a position that's open at Community Brands right now. So I've been talking to a whole bunch of PSA alumni, and I really am hopeful that one of them is going to come join me at Community Brands. I also have, like I said, my mentor and a community of people that I learned alongside with. So, Yuji mentioned that you have your cohort, and my cohort, we still meet up every couple of weeks and get together and talk. People who are in different roles, we share experiences. We have the ability to like relate to each other because we're all kind of new and doing the same thing for the first time together. So that is like one of my absolute favorite things, is just the community that I found. And overall, like PreSales Academy, I have said this, but it really is true. It is life-changing. So for me, coming from a Head Start teacher into PreSales, my income tripled. I have so much more free time and flexibility. Like I said, I'm a caregiver, and so like that was really hard to manage as a teacher. Now, if I need to step away from the computer and go check on something, I can do that. If I need to take time to take someone to a doctor's appointment, I can do that. And I don't have to worry about making sub plans to do that. I just say, hey, other solutions engineer on my team, like, can we figure out how to cover this demo if there's a demo at that time? Or if not, I just block off my calendar and say, I'm not doing demos at this time. So I have that. I have the opportunity to continue to learn and grow, and I have a network of support. And that network of support really continues after graduation. Yuji was saying that like that's when everything really begins, is at graduation. So as I was in my job search, I had everybody who was answering my questions. When I found jobs I was interested in, I would send them to like my coach and my mentor, and they would say, oh, hey, I know somebody at this company. Let me introduce you and connect them. I had my coach like give me such great feedback during our role plays. And so then she was able to like help me practice interview role plays more as well. And Ultimately, I found my job because of a pre-sales collective member who was familiar with the work that PreSales Academy was doing. And so because he knew about PreSales Academy, when I reached out and I said, hey, I see this role at Community Brands. Can you tell me more about it? He put me in touch with the hiring manager immediately. And so because of that connection, I was able to land the job. And so the network, like everyone was saying, so important. And I think like PreSales Academy, absolutely. The value in the network is huge and amazing. So if you are interested in pre-sales, congratulations. Good luck with your career transition. I think as you prepare for this, I think the most important thing you can do is to really reach out and talk to people who are in the role. Find people on LinkedIn. You can add me on LinkedIn. Talk to people. Pre-sales people like are the nicest people, and they will make time to like chat with you for 30 minutes. Ask them to share, how did you end up in this role? Do you have any advice? What do you wish you had known when you were starting out? And they would be more than happy to talk to you. So talk to people who are in the role, learn about it as much as you can. And if you want to learn more, there's so many places to learn more. You can read books. There's podcasts like the Pre-Sales podcast. You can go to Pre-Sales Collective events and just, yeah, if this is something you really want to do, there's so many ways to learn about it. And that's really what I would encourage you to do if you want to prepare for a career in pre-sales. So,
Thank you, Tia.
yeah.
I love your story. It is, one of the most, I guess, heartwarming stories too, just because I think, you worked so hard and you ultimately got into a role that, is a lot better than what you've had in the past. And so
Yes.
I'm super happy for you and I'm glad it really worked out. I'm super glad that you're able to be here today with us to tell that story. Tia, back to you. Would love to hear from you on just again how the transition was from your previous role as a teacher into this brand new role that is a sales engineer role.
So I think because I had Pre-Sales Academy, the transition was a lot easier and smoother than you might think. There are definitely still challenges. Like I said, I came from knowing nothing about technology. So there's a part of me that was like, it's learning an entirely new language to like be able to speak to these things. And so there's still things from time to time where I'm like, I don't know what this means, and I have to Google it, or I have to ask my mentor because I don't understand what Google says. So occasionally there's things like that I'm just like, I found the answer to this question, but I don't understand what the answer is. But in terms of like being able to give a really good demo, if you're a teacher, like you give demos all day, every day, whether it's convincing a 3-year-old that they can absolutely accept the orange cup when they really want the green cup, like yes. Or if you're a math teacher, you're selling math to teenagers, and that is like one of the hardest jobs. I can't even imagine like doing that. And so if you're a teacher, you already come with a lot of these skills. And I think no matter what field you're coming from, if you're interested in pre-sales, you probably have a lot of the skills that you already need. It's just a matter of learning to apply them in a new context. And so that's really what Pre-Sales Academy did for me. It helped me figure out, okay, where do I already have skills and how can I apply them? And so, it helped me understand like, yeah, I know how to like convince a 3-year-old that they can use an orange cup. So how do I now convince a customer that they really do need our student information system product can solve their problems? How do I do that? And so that's where Pre-Sales Academy was really valuable. So yeah, I think hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. Thank you, Tia. One more here for you, specifically about the job search. So the question is, what was your post-academy experience in terms of the job search? How long did it take? How many different companies did you end up interviewing with? What were the interview process like, more or less? Just maybe some insight into, what your experience after the program and ultimately getting into the role.
Yeah. So I feel like I was really lucky in that I got my job almost right away. It was about a month after I graduated that I found the role. And it was like just a matter of this was the right opportunity at the right time. But while I was searching, I was actively interviewing with another company when I got my offer. So I had a few places where I was talking to people. I had interviewed at other companies before that as well. And I think what was really helpful for me during the job search was like having this community of people to support me. So like I know like you, Yuji, you put the community brands position on my hunter board. And so I saw it because of that. And so all of those things really helped to just have people who are helping me. Um, and you also like learn about how to job search effectively. So the way that my like job search changed from like maybe the middle of the program when I wasn't really actively applying for things, but just looking, and the way that it changed to the end when I was actually actively applying and thinking about roles, it changed a lot because I was like, okay, this is what I need to do to be effective. I learned how to use LinkedIn more effectively. I learned how to like network and reach out to people. And so um, I was lucky in a lot of ways to get a job so quickly, but I think that everyone who goes through Pre-Sales Academy is really well equipped for the job search and will find something.